So the first one will be the site coordination, which is the old clerk of works, as some of you may remember the clerk of works. And Pat Meany from Lis O ETB will be running this course. So he's a lecturer. He has lots of experience in retrofitting, and he's a member of the building engineers. Is very familiar with MMC, which is a new trend that's going through at the moment, and something that we all need to know and be aware of. So I say this is a collaboration between ourselves and Lis O ETB. We try and work with other institutes, whether the industry or education training boards, to develop new programs. So it's not all from TUS. Input is really important from other people. So this is the first one. There's no prior knowledge required. We do like to have a little bit of knowledge of understanding the fabric and services, because you do need a little bit of the background to do this course. You will be given a Navisworks educational license, because the second module, there is some digital aspects, in particular on site. Great to use Navisworks. It fits in very well with the Revit, etc. A lot of architects and engineers use, and certainly helps on coordination on site. So this is a blended delivery, and all our programs are blended. And that means you've got online lectures. In this case, we have them on a Wednesday, and it's between 7 and 9. And you also have practical elements, really important to have that, whether they're workshops or going to site visits, maybe to ecological building centres or Saint-Gobain or educational training board, etc. And they're very practical based. So they're over 24 weeks, which is what we call 2 semesters, because there's 2 modules. So from September to December, you'll do the first module, and then January to May, you do the second module. And that's quite consistent in a lot of these programs. So why are we doing the coordinating of retrofitting of existing residential buildings? First is to coordinate and carry out risk and waste assessments on site. That's extremely important now, with the circular economy and the Green Deal all come into play. Check the works that they comply with building regulations, because as a site coordinator, you need to collect the information to give to the certified designer or the site supervisor, whoever's in charge of the whole area, to put into the BCMS or the building control system. Then you deliver high quality, energy efficient, carbon neutral buildings. That's what we're aiming for. You know, we've gone a little bit past the nearly zero energy buildings now. We're moving into carbon neutral. And we also have to consider the circular aspects. So this is the first module, and it's called Residential Retrofitting of Existing Buildings. So we're looking at, in particular, how does the team work together? This is the systems thinking. And then building and retrofitting challenges. How do we check details are in compliance with building regulations? And using case studies, looking at a number of typical challenges of workmanship on site. And you can see there's one example there with the detailing. You know, they're not mitering the corner, and that's a really quite a failure, and it's a big failure as far as thermal bridging is concerned. Now my laptop is going a bit crazy. So the other thing is looking at retrofitting incentives and opportunities. Being aware of different types of grants and fundings and how these can benefit the building owner. And then the last part of this is the energy and carbon reduction options. You know, what to look out for. Get the retrofit actions completed efficiently, and checking work is completed correctly. That's your job as a site coordinator. You don't have to be a major expert, but you need the experts who are the trades on site to send you the information back of what they've completed. You do need to know if that detail is correct. So this module is not going into detail of the design or installation actions, but looking at how to coordinate the actions. And this is the second module. This is more the site coordination. So it's more around checking the coordination and understanding and reviewing the retrofit condition survey which should be handed to you, making sure the team knows what they must do. You know, it's that communication aspect which is really strong in this module. Prepare an on-site risk assessment on-site and set out retrofit coordination methods. And these methods can include an induction session, so explaining airtight strategy. You know, what you're going to do with an airtight strategy, and you'll be completing one of those in this course. Health and safety checks, make sure the site is kept tidy and manage the water and waste aspects of the site. This is important during a retrofit project because, as you can imagine, there can be huge amounts of demolition waste, which we try and avoid, but inevitable in many cases. So the last part of the module will be introduce a number of digital tools to help with efficient retrofit coordination. Generally, they're free. As I said, the Navisworks will be provided, but the others are freely available online, and you'll be introduced to these tools. And this will improve coordination and support the checking of details. And finally, monitoring and setting up checklists for quality assurance. And this information is to go to the assigned certifier on site, the person who signs off that house. And what's really important is make sure the proof is there so they can verify compliance. So when I used to site supervise, I used to get photographs taken before the work started and after the work started to show that the work's been done correctly. You will get these as available on a slideshow. There's a video here, which is really cool little video, tells you everything that you need in detail. So these are some of the digital tools we'll be using. Trello, airtightness strategy, and I know there's a couple of people here who have already used it, and another program we've used. Really handy little tool, and that's to make sure that everybody follows the procedures of airtightness. One thing you don't want is a hole put into airtightness, so it will fail the permeability test. Then you have Navisworks, and we'll go through quantification, the timeline, you see along the bottom one, but also clash detection. So when you're on site, quite often you can see where there's going to be problems. And the final slide for this is, I suppose what you really want to know is the assignments. What are we going to, how are we going to assess you? It's all continuous assessment. There's no exams. You know, a lot of you I know have been out of exam formats, so continuous assessments, it works a lot easier for you. There will be a multiple choice based on what we provide to you in the Moodle. You have to be set up in Moodle on the TUS Moodle. There will be short reports to do, and all based around certain case studies. We'll be helping you along the way. So as I said, you will be signed into Moodle and you have access to all the TUS library, and it's extensive. The amount of information you can get from TUS library is huge. And we'll also provide extra resources. They're the main ones you can see there, building regs, the ACDs, the SR50, there's also 54, I should say, the SR50 is also available, etc. So that's it for the site coordinator course.